Hi, my name is Tessmann, and today I'm going to show you how I set up my starter box so that it works with both buggy and truggy on the same box. So I've started with prepping the starter box already. As you can see, I've wired it all up, got it all ready to go with motors in the right position. So then I'm going to start with the truggy first. I'm going to fix that on there. And as you can see, there's no motors in either of the cars. I like to do that so I can have a better view of the hole in the chassis, so I can really get it perfect and not be guessing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is line it up in the hole where the wheel is. Line it perfectly centered. Push down just so you can see, make sure it's perfectly in line. And then second, I'm going to take a Sharpie and mark. I'm going to do the back first just because it's easy and you can see it. I'm just going to draw a line on the starter box where the chassis sits. So when I take the car off, I'll be able to see kind of a print of where the chassis was. Okay, so you can clearly see the lines now where the chassis was sitting. So then I'll put the posts so they line up with the line, so then when the chassis is on, they'll be all lined up. So as you can see, I've put the posts in, tried to get them as much in line with the felt pen lines as I could. On the rear, I've used nuts, so it'll grab the back of the chassis of the truggy, but then when you put the buggy on, it won't be in the way. I'll show you that a little bit later when you do the buggy. So I'll put the truck on the starter box. The front fits good. The hole is still, or the wheel is still inside the center of the hole, but it does move around a bit in the back. So I'm going to adjust that screw. It might take a few times for you to get this right, especially if you're the first time doing it. It's just a little bit of trial and error involved, but then you want to make sure it's perfect. Okay, so I've adjusted the back one a couple times just to get it nice and tight on the chassis, so when you're in a panic or something, when you set the truck on, it goes in, doesn't move around, it's centered in the hole, so it really holds the truck steady, and it's pretty much, it's just going to line up when you put it on. So that's for the truggy. It's set up good now. I'm going to go over the buggy and show you the reason I use the screws in the back. Okay, so I've done the same procedure on the back for the buggy, a little bit narrower for the chassis. I've used the felt pen and then put short nuts this time on. So I'm going to put the buggy on, and I'll always put the front end in first and the back end down, and then when we push down you can feel it's very solid in the back. And then the reason I have the nuts cut off is so when you put the truggy on, it will still grab on the taller outside screws. This way, when you have the nuts in the back, when you're putting the car on, you don't have anything snag in the rear arms. It's really just kind of an issue on buggy. Truggy has there's a big gap between where these posts are in the arms. So for buggy, it's just a little bit more convenient to use the screws. This way you can use both buggy and truggy on the same starter box, which saves on money, saves travel, weight, and stuff like that. And it's very important to also have your car very solid on the box when you want to start it, because if you're in a race, your car flames out, your pit guy is in a panic. It's nice to have your car just to slap on the starter box and be able to start it without him moving it around, fumbling with it. So it's going to save your pit guy a lot of grief. It's going to save you time on the track if something bad happens, and it's just going to be overall a better experience. So that's my video for setting up a starter box, and thanks for watching.